I said I would make a video on tips to get a new GPU. Here it is. But instead of showing you B-roll of video cards and fancy computers, I'm going to show you some nice relaxing footage of the first days of spring. Let's get started with method 1. Microcenter. Yeah, I can feel the disappointment from everyone that lives far from a Microcenter, but this really is your best shot at getting a card near retail prices. Every store handles things a little bit differently, but it looks like most have guards in place to keep people from buying up all the cards and from bots from getting them. My local Microcenter does not sell current cards online. It has a 30-day waiting period to buy another card, and they check IDs, credit cards, and addresses. And they have a predictable restocking schedule. If you ask nicely, the sales staff will give you some tips on when to come and what they know. They don't usually know what's coming on each truck, but they will tell you maybe the best day to come is Tuesday and Thursday, or they get trucks all week and just keep trying. Still, if you're willing to spend the time in line, which you could spend several hours, I've waited for 5 hours there, you have a good shot of getting a card. Just show up early and put in the time, you'll be able to do it. Method 2. Other retailers. Most of the big sites like Amazon and Newegg are loaded with bots. You're likely to get scammed with false product listings on other sites too. I tried buying a card through Walmart's site, and the company sent me an empty first-class envelope instead of a card. However, you can score a card this way. Best Buy seems to have the best, if not perfect, bot protection, and I'm about 4 for 8 on obtaining cards for builds from there. It's pretty hard, but it's possible. Newegg has a virtually daily free raffle to obtain the rights to buy a card. What I mean by that, they call it the Newegg Shuffle, and you sign up, you pick which products you want to buy that are in high demand, and a few hours later they may send you an email telling you that you are allowed to buy one of those. And within a certain time limit, you can go to your Newegg cart and check out, and you will be able to buy that card. The downside is the only one day that I got a spot is I immediately tried to check out, and I was told no stock remained. And I don't know anybody who's bought a card this way. I think there are just way too many people and way too few cards that your odds are low. But keep trying, because somebody has to get the spot. It may as well be you. Method 3. Buying new pre-built systems. If you're trying hard to build a system, you should also consider a pre-built. You can get a decent computer and strip away the parts you don't need and sell them, or just use it, which is what I recommend, as is. You won't have to worry about buying a legitimate Windows license if you do that, and please don't pirate Windows or any other software for that matter. And if you're not confident with your ability to build a PC, you can use this as a platform to get more comfortable by upgrading parts over time. It's a good introductory way because a lot of pre-builts from, say, somebody like iBuyPower or CyberPower use common parts that you can find almost anywhere or close to common parts. With a Dell or an HP, it'll be a little different, but upgrading things like hard drives and RAM and that sort of thing, you can do. You also have the option of going with a pre-built laptop. They're going to be louder than a desktop typically, and while gaming, you can only game plugged in. But you also get a laptop, so it's portable. And the prices of those, compared to, say, scalping video cards, are way better. I think maybe a good one could be around $1,500, and Walmart's outlet, VIP outlet, I think it's called, was a few months ago selling a refurbished Gateway laptop with a 6 gigabyte RTX 2060 in it for around $650. Be careful of sites that have really long wait times or advertise prices that look like mistakes. Chances are they are mistakes. You're going to end up with more headache. You'll get your order canceled, or they may never send you anything. So just be careful of that. Method 4. Buying used systems. Don't care if you have the newest thing? Great. Even last-gen older cards, prices have inflated to eye-popping levels, but if you can buy a whole system used, you might be able to score a decent bundle deal. I recently bought a system with a 2060 Super in it for around $800 for the whole system. At the time, the card was probably selling for about $500 on eBay. The rest of the complete system was used for a build on this channel, and then I sold the parts because I didn't need to keep them. I did keep the card, though, in case I need it for another build, and it's actually what I'm using in my gaming computer right now. If I bought everything else separately, even used, I'd probably would have paid a few $100s more. It was definitely a good deal, and I think people are more motivated to sell and will give you better prices if it's an entire system. Method 5, scalpers. And let's face it, you have to weigh your time, money, and how much you want the card here. It's ultimately your call. I always advocate spending your money wisely, especially when that money could be used to support a local charity, and you could still get another card another way. However, you have to make that decision for yourself. Is spending $1,300 on an RTX 3070 worth it to you? Is waiting 6 hours in line at Microcenter worth $600? Maybe you're a dentist or something. I have no idea. Only you can answer that. With these last two methods, remember to be safe though. If you're going to either buy a used system or used parts or buy from a scalper, carefully inspect the items before you pay. Test them if at all possible. If anything looks fishy, don't trust them, just walk away. Don't pay for any shipped items unless you have some kind of buyer protection, and definitely watch some videos about Craigslist scams so you know how to guard yourself against them. And of course, meet in public, well-lit places with lots of people around so that you're not in danger of getting stabbed or something. That's probably a good idea. Now I want to go through a couple tools that can help you. The first one is email notifications. And I bet you a few of you rolled your eyes because you've already tried that. They're too slow for you to see an email notification, click on a link, and go buy a card. Almost always too slow. You're never going to get there in time. By the time you get an email link, the bots already know that there's stock and people are already checking out with the last card. What they are good for is establishing a pattern of when things come back in stock. If you get enough of those emails and you're keeping track, you might notice that a certain store always restocks on Tuesdays, and so you can camp out and maybe catch the next restock. If it's not that consistent of a pattern, then you might end up waiting a long time, but it is a way you can get ahead of the game if they release in predictable ways. Or if they don't release in predictable ways, then maybe I just have to give up on that, or just check it and hope for some good luck. Tool number 2 is Discord, and Discord is a tool just like the email notifications. The Discord servers use bots, but not like the ones you hate, to track stock on various retail websites. They tend to send notifications much faster than email in my experience, but I still haven't been fast enough to claim a card that way. Just like email notifications, they can help you establish a pattern of card releases. Talk to the people in some of the general chats on the Discord servers, and they might be able to help you nail down a pattern too. There may be a ton of knuckleheads in there, but 1 out of 100 people might provide you some useful info, and that could be worth it. For instance, one server that I follow is full of humorless people who only spam the general chat with what they think are jokes, and they're really not very funny. But the same server keeps track of Best Buy's restock patterns, and I find that very useful because I've been present for almost all of the Best Buy restocks. Present, I mean sitting at my computer staring at their website since February. And then here's the last few things I want to do is give you some extra tips that can add to your success. The first tip is set up your accounts on your websites ahead of time and make sure to update your payment method and shipping information on those sites. The faster you can check out, the more likely you are to get a card, because I don't think any websites hold your cart for you and prevent other people from buying that item until you've checked out. Once you check out, that card is essentially yours. Tip 2. If stores have two-factor authentication, use texting instead of email. In my experience, it's faster. Tip number 3. Don't refresh pages too often. Some websites will IP ban you for refreshing too much, and you'll miss out on cards. It's usually a temporary ban, but GameStop banned me for a month when I was trying to get a PS5 at launch, and I didn't even think I was refreshing that fast. It sucked. My final piece of advice to you is please try to remember that these are luxury items. For most of us, their primary purpose is playing video games. There are so many more things that we can do with our time. If you have something that works already, try and appreciate what you've got and look forward to the next crypto crash when 3060 Ti's are selling by the dozen on the used market. If you don't have anything that works, do what you can. Mooch off of your friends or something, I don't know. But just don't go nuts while you're trying to get these cards. The worst thing you can do is start thinking everybody else is your enemy and everyone's taking things from you and stuff. Try to think of it more as a blessing when you're finally able to get one, and a relief that all the work paid off in trying to track one of these things down. You'll feel much better when you get it, and you'll feel much better until you get it. And the last thing I'll say is, if you can't get one, if you just keep having bad luck all the time and it's just not working out, go outside and enjoy some nice ray-traced real life. It's way more beautiful than any of the graphics in any game I've ever seen. You can get yourself in better shape, get some nice fresh air. It's just so much better. Try and go out and enjoy it.